Oh, honey, let me tell you, nothing hits harder than the sound of your own blood turning against you, right there in the middle of fairy lights and silk tablecloths. It was my daughter Aaliyah's wedding day, the kind of June afternoon in Atlanta where the sun kisses your skin just right, and the magnolias in the garden bloomed like they knew something special was coming. 200 guests, family from Mobile, church folks from the block, her daddy's side who only showed up for free crab legs, packed into that sprawling venue at the country club. I was in the back, fussing with my navy blue dress that clung a little too tight around my hips these days, but I felt good. At 48, I'd earned these curves. Every soft roll a badge from carrying her, from scrubbing floors at night to put braces on her teeth. Aaliyah was 26. My miracle baby, all sharp cheekbones and that effortless glow that turned heads. She'd snagged Jamal, this tall drink of water with a tech job in Silicon Valley and a smile that could melt ice. The ceremony had been perfect. Vows exchanged under an arch of white roses, me dabbing tears with the edge of my glove, whispering to myself, "That's my girl." She made it. The reception kicked off with laughter, that sweet R&B playlist humming low, plates clinking as folks dug into the prime rib. I was nursing a glass of rosé, chatting with cousin Tasha about how fast time flies, when the DJ handed the mic to Aaliyah for her toast. She stepped up to the sweetheart table, her mermaid gown shimmering like liquid silver, Jamal's hand on her waist. The room hushed, phones up for the gram. "Y'all," she started, voice all honey and sparkle. "This day is everything I've dreamed. Jamal, you're my rock," cheers rippled through. Then she turned, eyes locking on me like lasers. And Mama, oh Mama, my heart swelled. Here it comes. The thank you, the love. But her lips curled, just a twitch, and she said, loud as thunder, "Mama, you've been there, yeah, but let's keep it real. Look at you, sitting there like some fat slut who crashed the party. Always stuffing your face, embarrassing me with your loud laughs and those tight clothes. Why you even here? Go back to the kitchen where you belong." The words hung in the air like smoke from a gunshot. Gasps rippled, forks froze midair, Cousin Tasha's hand flew to her mouth. My rosé glass slipped, shattering on the tile with a crack that echoed my breaking chest. 200 eyes burned into me, but all I saw was Aaliyah's smirk. Jamal chuckling low like it was a joke. Fat slut. My baby girl, the one I'd rocked through colic nights, the one I'd sold my mama's heirloom ring to send to college. I stood there, 250 pounds of me feeling like 1,000, heat crawling up my neck. "Aaliyah," I whispered, voice cracking like dry earth, but she just waved it off, mic still hot. "Lighten up, Ma, it's my day." The DJ scrambled to play 1,000 miles, but the damage was done. I stumbled out to the garden, heels sinking in the grass, tears hot on my cheeks. When did my love turn to this poison? Little did I know, as I clutched my purse with those secret papers inside, that this nightmare was just the spark to my fire. But oh, the burn was coming. For her. Sisters, you don't just wake up one day with a daughter who spits venom like that. No, that kind of ugly festers slow, like mold in the walls of a house you built with your bare hands. Let me take you back. Way back to when I was just Loretta James, 22 and fresh out of high school in 99, belly round with Aaliyah and dreams bigger than the Georgia sky. Her daddy, Darnell, was a charmer, 6 foot something, with a fade that stayed fresh and promises that evaporated like morning dew. He worked construction, talked big about starting his own crew, but when that plus sign showed on the stick, he ghosted faster than a summer storm. Left me with the eviction notice and a bassinet from the thrift. I landed on my feet, though. Always did. Took a job cleaning offices downtown, mopping floors till my knuckles bleached white, then flipped burgers at Waffle House on doubles. Nights, I'd rock Aaliyah in that creaky apartment on Auburn Avenue, singing her "Ain't No Mountain High Enough" till my voice went hoarse. "We're climbing, baby girl," I'd whisper, kissing her tiny curls. "Mama's got you." By the time she was toddling, I'd saved enough for community college. Business classes, because I figured numbers don't lie like men do. Graduated with honors, got hired as a receptionist at this little logistics firm, Global Freight Solutions. It was grunt work, answering phones for folks who barely saw me, but I smiled through it, eyes on the prize. Aaliyah was my son. Sharp as a tack, top of her class at that underfunded elementary where the books had moldy pages. I'd pack her lunches with extra love. Peanut butter sandwiches cut heart-shaped. Notes saying, "You're my queen." But money was tight. We'd share a twin bed some nights, her little body curled against mine for warmth. That's when the side hustle started. See, I had this knack for numbers, spotting patterns in shipments, inefficiencies that bosses overlooked. One evening, after hours, I pitched an idea to Mr. Hargrove, the owner, a routing algorithm that could shave 15% off fuel costs. He laughed at first, this white man in his crisp suit eyeing my uniform. "Loretta, stick to the coffee." But I didn't. I coded it on my lunch breaks, using free library computers, taught myself BASIC from dog-eared books. When I showed him the prototype, profits jumped that quarter. He gave me a $500 bonus, chump change, but it was seed money. I poured it into stocks, quiet-like. Tech boom was heating up. I bought shares in this upstart called Amazon on a tip from a podcast. Risky, but what did I have to lose? Aaliyah was 5 when the first dividends hit, enough for a down payment on a modest ranch house in Decatur. I told folks it was an inheritance from a distant aunt. Truth? It was sweat, sleepless nights, and a fire in my gut that said, no one's saving us but me. By middle school, Aaliyah had ballet lessons, braces gleaming silver. I climbed at global, junior analyst, then manager. But I kept the real game hidden. Started my own consulting gig under a LLC, LJR Logistics. At first, small contracts, optimizing routes for local trucking outfits. Word spread in whispers. I was the ghost fixer, solving puzzles no one else could. By her high school graduation, LJR had offices in 3 states, clients like FedEx knockoffs paying 6 figures. I funneled it all into investments, real estate in Atlanta's up-and-coming spots, venture capital in Black-owned startups, even a slice of that crypto wave before it crashed folks' dreams. Aaliyah never knew. I drove a sensible Accord, shopped sales at Target, sent her to Spelman on scholarships I nudged, along with anonymous donations. Mama's just lucky, I'd say, when she asked about the new washer-dryer. Inside, though, I was building an empire. Net worth, by 2020, pushing $50 million. Quiet wealth, the kind that doesn't flash, but folds like origami into power. I sat on boards anonymously, pulled strings from shadows. Why hide? Because love like mine don't need spotlights. It just needs to hold you up, but cracks showed early. High school sweethearts came and went. She'd roll her eyes at my old lady advice. "Mama, you're so embarrassing. Always in those loud prints, laughing too loud at church." I'd brush it off, chalk it to teenage fire. College mellowed her, came home with that polished edge, interning at fancy firms, dating Jamal who got her ambition. I was proud, swelling like a balloon at her engagement party last fall. Toasted them with tears, hugging her tight. "You deserve the world, baby." She hugged back, but her grip was loose, eyes already on the horizon. Now, here we were, wedding bells tolling, and that horizon had turned its back on me. As I sat in the garden that afternoon, phone buzzing with texts. "You okay, sis?" What was that? I pulled out those papers from my purse. The latest valuation from my lawyers. $200 million, give or take market whims. LJR had gone global, algorithms powering half the Southeast supply chains. I could have bought that country club twice over. But money don't heal a daughter's knife to the heart. Why, Aaliyah? My inner voice wailed, fists clenched in my lap. The party's laughter drifted out like smoke, mocking me. I wiped my face, straightened my dress. Enough crying, Loretta. Time to stand. But standing meant facing her. And God, the storm was just brewing. You ever feel like the ground's tilting under you, and every step's a slide toward the edge? That's how the rest of that reception dragged on, like wading through molasses laced with shards of glass. I forced myself back inside after 20 minutes, face-schooled neutral, because crumbling in front of 200 wouldn't give her the satisfaction. Cousin Tasha cornered me by the bar first, her gold hoops swinging like pendulums. "Loretta, what in the world? That child lost her damn mind." I just nodded, sipping water to steady the shake in my hands. "Family, Tasha, we weather it." But inside? Weather it? Girl, I'm a hurricane waiting. Guests tiptoed around me after that. Hugs that lingered too long, whispers behind napkins. Aunties from the church choir pulled me into a side room, fanning me with programs. "Baby, you raised her better. Don't let it sit." One elder, Miss Evelyn with her Bible tucked under her arm, squeezed my hand. "The Lord's got the last word, Loretta. But you got spine." I wanted to spill it all, the empire, the secrets. But no, my power was my armor, not a weapon to swing wild. Aaliyah didn't come looking. Oh no. She floated through the crowd like a queen bee, Jamal trailing with that sheepish grin, accepting congrats while her eyes skipped over me like I was yesterday's news. I caught snippets, her laughing with bridesmaids about keeping it real in the speech, one of them glancing my way, giggling. Fat slut. The words looped in my head, a chant from hell, each repeat carving deeper. My curves once hugged in pride now felt like chains. I excused myself to the powder room, locking the stall to let the sobs rip free. How did I miss this? Was I blind or just too busy building walls around us both? By cake-cutting time, the air thickened. Jamal's mama, this petite woman named Kendra with a bob that screamed old money, sidled up as I clapped politely from my table. Loretta, dear, kids these days. Such fire. But you look radiant, truly. Her smile was all teeth, but her eyes? Calculating, like she smelled blood. I'd met her twice. Atlanta socialite, board member at some charity gala I donated to anonymously. She didn't know my face from my fortune, but something in her patter felt off. Aaliyah's always been spirited. Takes after her father, I suppose. Darnell, I thought, bitterness rising. That ghost who couldn't stick. The cake was vanilla with buttercream swirls, 5 tiers tall as my regrets. Aaliyah and Jamal smashed the slice like pros, crowd whooping, but when she tossed the bouquet, it sailed right past me, deliberate, I swear, landing in some cousin's lap. Laughter erupted, and that's when she spotted me again, mic in hand for one last round. Oh, and Ma, thanks for the dress money. Even if you do look like you ate the whole bakery. The room tittered, nervous at first, then fuller as wine loosened tongues. Jamal pulled her away, murmuring, but she shrugged him off, sauntering over with that sway I'd taught her from watching old Tina Turner clips. Up close, her makeup was flawless, lashes like fans, but her breath? Sweet with cake and spite. Mama, you good? Don't be dramatic. I searched her face, those eyes, mirror of mine, now cold as January rain. Aaliyah, what was that? In front of everybody? My voice was low, pleading, but she rolled her eyes, glancing back at her friends. It's a joke, Ma, loosen up. You're always so heavy, weighing me down with your stories, your struggles. This is my life now, elegant, light. Not whatever this is. She gestured at me, vague and vicious, then spun on her heel, gown whispering like a threat. I watched her go, chest caving, heavy, all those years, my arms carrying her weight, my bank account her wings, now baggage. The reception blurred after that. Dances I skipped, toasts I tuned out. Kendra cornered me again near the exit, her voice syrupy. Loretta, we should lunch sometime. Aaliyah's family now, ours. I nodded, numb, but as I slipped into my car, engine humming to life, something shifted. Pain clawed deep, yes, but under it? A growl. She don't know me. Not the half of it. My phone lit up. Texts from board members, a deal closing in Chicago for 10 mil. I ignored them, fingers tracing the LLC docs in the glove box. Tomorrow was the brunch, family photos, the happily ever after charade. But tonight, alone in my king bed with the silk sheets I'd bought on a whim, I cried till dawn. Enough, Loretta. Tomorrow, you rise. Little did Aaliyah know, the real toast was coming, and it would choke her. Part 4. The Mirror. Cracks waking up to a wedding hangover ain't just the champagne. It's the echo of words you can't unhear, bouncing off the walls of your soul. Sunday morning hit like a freight train, sunlight slicing through my blackout curtains in that Decatur house I'd long outgrown. I rolled over, sheets tangled like my thoughts, and stared at the ceiling fan whirring lazy circles. Fat slut. Heavy. Aaliyah's voice, sharp as stilettos, replayed on loop. I hauled myself up, padding to the bathroom mirror, full length, unforgiving. There I was, Loretta at 48, hips wide as the Mississippi, arms soft from desk life, a double chin I'd earned from too many late-night meetings with takeout. But my eyes, steel gray, unbowed. She sees trash, I thought, tracing the laugh lines. I see a warrior. The post-wedding brunch was at Kendra's estate, some sprawling McMansion in Buckhead with marble floors and a pool that screamed, "Look at me!" I pulled up in my Accord, feeling every inch the outsider, but I dolled up. A wrap dress in emerald that hugged without squeezing. Pearls from a Tokyo client trip Aaliyah never knew about. Fake it till you make it, I whispered, stepping out with my head high. Valet took the keys without a blink. Folks like Kendra didn't question help. They just assumed. Inside, it was a pastel nightmare. Mimosas fizzing, quiches steaming, Aaliyah in a silk romper holding court at the head table. Jamal hovered, ever the buffer, but her laugh cut through the chatter like glass. She spotted me late. Oh, deliberate again, waving me over with a flick. Mama, over here! Sit with the aunties. The table was a minefield. Kendra beaming false welcome, Jamal's sisters side-eyeing my plate as I loaded it with fruit. Conversation flowed light. Honeymoon plans in Bali, Jamal's promotion. But Aaliyah? She steered at Venom Ward. So Ma, you heading back to the grind tomorrow? Cleaning up after folks like us? Snickers from the cousins. I forked a strawberry, juice bursting sweet. Something like that, baby. But the real gut punch came mid-brunch, when Kendra pulled out photo albums, old ones from Jamal's side, all yacht parties and European vacations. See, Loretta? Family legacy. Aaliyah leaned in, flipping pages, then slammed it shut. Yeah, not like ours. Mama's got those dusty boxes in the garage. Old bills, eviction notices. Real glamorous. The table froze. A fork clinked too loud. Kendra's brow arched, intrigued. Eviction? Oh, honey, we've all had humble starts. But Aaliyah wasn't done, voice pitching up. Humble? Try embarrassing. Mama dragging me to food pantries, wearing the same coat 3 winters. And now? Still scraping by, showing up to my wedding looking like, well, you know. She trailed off with a smirk, eyes daring me. Heat flooded my face. Pain, raw and ripping. In front of them all again. Jamal cleared his throat. Babe, easy. But she waved him off. Truth hurts, right, Ma? Time to level up or step aside. The room spun. Mimosa soured in my throat. I pushed back my chair, voice steady as rebar. Aaliyah Renee James, you listen here. I built this life, yours included, brick by bloody brick. You think it's dust? Look closer. She laughed, sharp. What, your cleaning lady wisdom? Spare me? I stood, purse in hand, meeting Kendra's gaze. Lovely brunch, Kendra. Tell the newlyweds congrats. And I walked out, spine straight. But oh, sisters, the tears waited till the car door clicked shut. Driving home, windows down, wind whipping my curls, realization hit like brakes on black ice. This ain't just words, it's erasure. All those sacrifices, missing recitals for board calls, wiring tuition from offshore accounts, she saw as weakness. My softness, my silence on the wealth as failure. I hid to protect her. My inner voice raged, but she weaponized it. By the time I pulled into my driveway, fury simmered to steel. Phone buzzed, a text from Aaliyah. Dramatic much? Call when you chill. I deleted it, dialing my lawyer instead. Clarence, it's Loretta. Pull the strings on that trust. And the Spellman donation? Redirect it. His pause was heavy. You sure, boss? Boss, the word anchored me. Dead sure. That night I poured a scotch, rare for me, and paced my study, walls lined with books I'd devoured not just for show. Emails flooded in. A merger offer from a Fortune 500 $80 million on the table. I typed back, fingers flying. Counter at 120. Then the big one. A call from my VC partner. Loretta, that fintech startup. Exploding. Your stakes at 150 easy. I hung up, staring at the safe where deeds and bonds slept. $200 million, not bragging rights, but power. Quiet, crushing. She called me heavy? Wait till she feels the weight. But revenge? Nah, not petty. Justice. Karma with a receipt? The turning point came at midnight, mirror facing me again. I stripped down, saw the body she'd mocked, stretch marks like lightning from birthing her, hips that swayed through storms. You're enough, I told my reflection, more than... Sleep came fitful, dreams of boardrooms and betrayals blurring. Morning brought clarity. The family dinner, Monday night, her thank you to the in-laws. I'd go, not to beg, but to unveil. Time she learned who holds the strings. As I slipped into a tailored pantsuit, Armani understated black, the fire in my chest roared, but unleashing it? That would wait for the perfect drop. Monday evening in Buckhead ain't quiet. Traffic hums like a hive, but inside Kendra's dining room it was a powder keg wrapped in linen napkins. I'd arrived early, uninvited, but expected, carrying a bottle of vintage Dom as camouflage. The table groaned under crystal, rack of lamb, truffled potatoes, Aaliyah at the end like a debutante, already tipsy on stories of their honeymoon suite. Jamal greeted me warm. Hey, Ma Loretta. But Aaliyah? A cool nod, eyes flicking to my suit. Fancy, job interview? Snickers from his sisters. I smiled, thin. Something like that. Dinner dragged, Kendra presiding like a queen, probing my background with veiled digs. Logistics, you say? Sounds steady. My husband's in shipping, big leagues, international. I nodded, sipping Cabernet, letting her preen. Aaliyah piled on, fork waving. Mama's the queen of paper pushing. Remember that time you got passed over for promotion, Ma? Cried for days. Lies, twisted. That demotion was me stepping back to launch LJR incognito. The table lapped it up, pitying glances my way. Pain flickered. Old wounds reopened, but I banked it, voice even. Water under the bridge, baby. Then, the lull before the storm. Dessert plates cleared, coffee steaming. Kendra leaned in, all faux warmth. Loretta, we've been talking. Family integration. Aaliyah's settling in Silicon Valley soon, but roots matter. Perhaps a down payment on a condo here? For visits. Jamal shifted, uneasy. Aaliyah lit up. Yes, something modern, Buckhead views. We could co-sign, but... She trailed, eyes on me sly. Mama, you got that nest egg, right? From all those years. The room stilled. Kendra's fork paused. Here it comes, I thought, heart thumping steady. I set my cup down. Soft clink like a gavel. Nest egg? Oh, honey. Laughter bubbled, not mine, nervous from the edges. Aaliyah pressed, smirking. Come on, Ma, we know you're comfortable. Help a sister out. Jamal coughed. Babe, but she barreled. What? Family shares. Unless you're still broke, scraping like always. Silence dropped heavy, silverware still. Kendra's eyes narrowed, scenting drama. I stood slow, pulling a slim folder from my bag. Leather, monogrammed LJR. Aaliyah, let's talk real. Flipped it open, sliding a page across. The trust fund docs, her name bold. This? The scraping paid for Spellman, your Volvo, that ring on your finger, $50K, custom from Tiffany's. Anonymous, like always. Gasps rippled. Kendra snatched it, scanning. Aaliyah blinked. What? That's not possible. I kept going, voice rising like a swell. And this? Another sheet, LJR balance sheet, assets gleaming. 200 million give or take. My company, baby. The one routing half of Amazon's Southeast Freight. Board seats at 3 Fortune 500s. That cleaning lady life? Cover story. To keep you safe? Grounded. The room erupted, whispers exploding to shouts. Jamal's jaw dropped. His sisters gawked. Kendra choked on her coffee. 200? Aaliyah's face drained, then flushed beet red. You're lying! Mama, can't. But I wasn't done, pulling the final card. Emails, frozen donations. Spellman's scholarship? Pulled this morning. The condo fund for family? Redirected to women's shelters. You wanted light, Aaliyah. Fly solo! She lunged, snatching papers, tears streaking mascara. You bitch! This is my wedding gift? Revenge? Jamal pulled her back, stunned. Loretta, Ms. James? Kendra recovered first, voice oily. Well, this changes things. Perhaps we renegotiate that integration. I turned to her, cool as December. Renegotiate? Honey, I own the port your husband's ship's dock at. One call, and his rates triple. Enjoy the lamb. Her face crumpled, shocked to calculation to fear. Aaliyah wailed, collapsing into Jamal. Mama, why? I didn't mean... It was just talk. But her eyes? Panic, not remorse. Too late, my heart whispered. I gathered my things, the folder snapping shut like a judge's gavel. You meant every word, baby. Called me fat, heavy, broke. But I'm the boss. The secret one who built empires while you built walls. Karma ain't always sweet. Sometimes it's a mirror. The door loomed. I paused, looking back. 200 guests at the wedding, but here, just us, the raw peel. Heal yourself, Aaliyah. Or don't. But don't call till you see me. Not the myth. And I walked out, heels clicking final on marble. The night air cool on my skin. The drive home blurred. City lights streaking like comet tails. My hands white-knuckled on the wheel. Justice tasted bitter, like oversteeped tea. Aaliyah's sobs echoing in my ears. Kendra's empire teetering on my whim. Did I go too far? Inner doubt nipped, but no, strength surged, washing it clean. I'd given her roots, wings, a safety net of gold. She cut the rope. Now, free fall was her lesson. Days melted into weeks, a quiet reclaiming. I dove into work. Board meetings in New York, a TEDx talk on invisible empires where I hinted at my story, applause thundering like vindication. The house felt bigger, echoes softer. I hired a designer, swapped beige for bold teal, hung portraits of black queens, Harriet, Madam CJ, me in the middle someday. Cousin Tasha called daily, girl the tea. Aaliyah's blowing up your line, then ghosting. Kendra's husband begging for a sit-down. I laughed real this time. Let 'em stew. Aaliyah cracked first. Month 2, a voicemail at 2 a.m. Voice slurry with regret and rum. Mama, I'm sorry. Jamal's pissed, says I ruined us. The lease fell through. Your pull, right? Please, I see now. You're everything. I listened, heart twisting, but deleted it. Not yet. Healing ain't a switch. It's stitches, slow and sure. Jamal texted next, "Ma, talk to her. She's breaking." I replied simple. "She broke me first. Tell her to look in the mirror." Redemption whispered in pieces, a package arrived. Her wedding album, pages torn where my face smiled. I burned it in the backyard fire pit, ashes swirling like released ghosts. Then, clarity. A letter, handwritten, arriving crisp in cream envelope. Mom, I was blind. Angry at shadows. Daddy leaving, my own fears. Called you fat to feel thin, slut to feel pure. But you're the root. Forgive. Tears hit the ink, smudging her script. I folded it away, not ready. But the door cracked open. Karma circled back gentle in ways I didn't script. Kendra's hubby lost a contract. To a competitor I tipped off. Fair play. Aaliyah downsized from her dream job, landing freelance gigs that humbled her polish. She started a blog, anonymous at first, on family fractures. Words echoing mine. I read 'em incognito, pride flickering. My girl, rising. 6 months in, we met. Neutral ground. A cafe in Midtown with jazz humming low. She looked small, curls tamed, eyes hollow but honest. Mama, hug first, tentative then fierce. I get it now. The weight you carried. For me. I held her, curves against her angles, whispering, "We all heavy sometimes, baby." But we lift. No millions mentioned. That was old power. This, new, raw, real. Sisters, betrayal carves canyons, but strength bridges 'em. I walk lighter now, dress bolder, laugh louder. Aaliyah calls weekly, not for checks, but check-ins. Jamal's family, distant, respectful. And me, Loretta James, 200 Miller boss, but richer in scars, healed gold. Sometimes, the deepest cuts birth the brightest crowns. Wear yours fierce, 'cause the throne's always been yours. If that story hit you right in the chest, sisters, left you wiping tears or nodding fierce, hit that like button and drop a comment below. What's the worst betrayal you turned into your power? Share your truth. We're family here. Subscribe for more real talk tales every Thursday, 'cause Auntie May's got endless fire. Turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the next one. Peace and power to you. Until next time.